Welcome everyone in San Juan County. We want to introduce you to some of the people here at Rock Island. I'm Alan Smith. I'm the Executive Vice President and run the day-to-day business. We have a few of our colleagues and teammates here with us. We've got Nick Groseclose. He, along with Fredrick Vaught, they both are head up the technology. They're our CTO duo for the company. And then we also have Allie Bowe, who maybe a lot of you know. She's our Director of Customer Support and Services. What we wanted to do is just take a moment to talk to you guys about the situation. We're in a very unique and unprecedented reality now with COVID being a part of our lives, and internet had certainly been brought to the forefront of what is a piece of critical infrastructure needed for a county to continue to operate in instances like this. We maybe 10 years ago, people would have leaned to say that sometimes internet was just a nice to have, a commodity, and fast internet was not critical or a need. But I think what we're seeing now is that's just not the case. It's dependent on, just like people are depending on their lights staying on or any other critical services that they get at their home. And what we'd like to do is just kind of talk to you a bit about what Rock Island is doing during this crisis to assist with that, what's been happening there, and give you guys some pointers too on ways to improve your interactions with the internet as this continues to unfold. And so maybe how we can start is touch on a few areas of exactly how internet has become a component of critical infrastructure. So what are some of those ways?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. So I have two daughters in the school system here in Friday Harbor. And so we went through that whole process of, we were going to school, and then one day it was, oh, you're, staying home and you're doing online education. And, what I found very quickly was how fortunate we were to have really good internet here. And that kind of made the transition really smooth with going into the online courses and the Zoom meetings with teachers and friends. And it also kind of expanded my thinking a little bit. And I've gone out and found a lot of resources online that people are offering. Even locally, people are offering Zoom lessons for different things. So it's been really great.
Fantastic. Yeah, good use of the internet.
Yeah.
Nick, what else do you kind of have there?
Internet allows patients to access their doctors from home instead of having to go to the doctor's office. Our sheriffs, our first responders, our EMS, they all use the internet for communications purpose and platform. The internet's always been part of our critical infrastructure and just for everyone's critical infrastructure, but that's never been more evident than with today's current situations.
Yeah, certainly they're relying on it. What about for small business owners or small retail stores? What is the internet providing for some of those folks?
Well, a lot of I'd say most of our retail stores in the islands rely heavily on tourists and locals walking around town, getting a coffee, going to the bookstore, buying some earrings. And that foot traffic isn't happening right now. So a lot of folks are quickly pivoting to an online presence. A lot of them starting a website for the first time, figuring out how to run a store on the internet. And then we've also seen businesses kind of banding together with Facebook pages. One that just came out, I think this week, was Orcus Makers on Facebook. And it's just a place where people who make things and sell things can kind of stay connected and help do outreach for each other online. And people are also on the consumer end focusing a lot more lately on supporting local businesses. So it's been really heartening to see everyone coming together that way. That's
really, really cool to see us focus more on our community. Certainly a great thing. How about when it comes to, that's the good economic and emergency services support pieces the internet has. What about socially? I mean, we're still humans. Interaction's kind of important for us. What are some avenues that's happening?
It's been pretty amazing, the innovation around socializing in these times. You can, the virtual happy hour is
Mhm.
kind of just where it starts. That's jumping off point. And then you can add karaoke or Pictionary or Cards Against Humanity or any number of games and things, all done online through Zoom. It's pretty great. And then there's, that's kind of the fun side. And then there's also social services and mental health, really important to keep people connected that way. So you can still do therapy online, either with your normal therapist that you talk with. There's also things like Talkspace, which is a website that will connect you with a therapist if you don't already have someone that you work with. And I know that also a lot of church services are happening online right now, keeping people connected to those things that make them feel healthy and happy through all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly with isolation, we want to be cognizant of avenues to be still socially interactive in the community. So those are great points there. Well, with everyone doing more online or relying more on it for their education, their work, their social activities, that certainly has got to drive increases in the usage and traffic. So what does that kind of look like from Rock Island standpoint as far as backhaul goes, Nick?
Well, I mean, in the past 2 months, we've seen our traffic triple across the board. If you look at the graph here, most of our fiber customers have doubled their usage over the past 2 months, but fortunately, we can seamlessly just do an upgrade of their bandwidth plans and accommodate those usage needs.
Yeah, well, that's a nice thing to be able to do with the fact that the fiber infrastructure exists here. What about over the course of the day, Fredrick? What have we kind of see the usage patterns turn into?
Yeah, so historically, we see pretty low during the day and then kind of a pickup at 5 p.m. and then a kind of a peak at 9 or 10 p.m. But now what we're seeing is like an increase of traffic at 8 a.m. and going basically all day. And then it still picks up in the evenings, but we definitely have seen traffic during the day increase.
Yeah. You say just safe to say that consistently an increase throughout the entirety of the day on all fronts. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, certainly the case. And as evident, kids are going to school, people are telecommuting, using a lot more video chat. So it's obvious to us why that is the case. So, kind of shifting gears here a little bit, Rock Island is a locally owned and operated company. It's, owned by your power cooperative, and, we're really here to service the community. So let's talk a little bit just about some of the things that Rock Island is doing to help our community during this COVID crisis. And maybe Nick, you could elaborate on some of the things we've done with the school.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know at the very start of this, it seemed like the schools just closed down instantly overnight. So the first thing we did was reach out to the schools and see if there's anything we could assist them for getting back to moving forward in the future when they needed to start back up. And what we learned was that, they had enough computers. They were looking at implementing a distance learning plan, but their issue was some students and teachers didn't have internet at their houses. So luckily we were able to assist with that, and we deployed over 100 internet service locations to those in need.
Yeah, that was a really remarkable lift, and I got to give credit to the team here who worked tirelessly it took just under 2 weeks and to deliver over 100 services to get well over 140 students and teachers access to internet. And really the key to all of that was, not just the hard effort of some of the folks like the ones here in this meeting, but the rest of the team as well. But we had to have the infrastructure in place to do that. If we had gone back 5 years from now, back to when Rock Island got its start and tried to do the same thing, it would have been impossible. We wouldn't have even thought about doing it because it just wouldn't have been feasible. But with a hybrid LTE and fiber network, it was amazing to see services go out the door that quickly and get students online and teachers online and allow schools to start up and operate at 100% in a distance learning fashion. That was really cool to see. So what other ways, Ali, obviously this is bringing some economic hardships to folks. What are some other ways, Rock Island, what are we doing to assist?
Well, we know that this whole situation is hitting some people harder than others, and paying bills is not going to get easier for the next several months, likely. So we're committed to not turning off anyone's service due to an inability to pay your bill. And we do encourage business owners, anyone who knows they're not going to be able to pay that bill, just reach out to us directly, and we're just making individual plans with folks, figuring out what works, but your services will stay on.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing about us being a local company is we really can, we're familiar with most of you and what you do for business and stuff, and we're here to help. So do please reach out if you need assistance. In what ways are we kind of maintaining or improving things across the system? Fredrick, maybe you could touch on that.
Yeah, so we're continuing to improve across the board. We're replacing hardware to increase bandwidth where that's needed. We're replacing hardware and adding hardware to increase resiliency for our network, so it can handle a little bit more. And yeah, and we're building out our fiber network as well. So across the board, yeah, we're still going.
Yeah, I would say it's safe to say we're committed to always shoring up people's access and the reliability of the network they're on here, because we understand how critical it is for them to stay up for all the uses they're doing. Well, that's great stuff. So if individuals in the community are having technical problems or maybe are looking for services that we can still provide during this time, what can they do, Ali?
We are available 24/7. You can reach us by phone at 378-5884. Option 1 will get you to our support team. By email, we're at support@rockisland.com. And starting next week, we're launching a online chat feature on our website. So you just go to rockisland.com, find the click to chat button, and that will reach an actual human, not a bot, someone local who can assist you via chat.
That's great. Lots of ways to get a hold of us, and a way for each according to our like list. So how's the knowing that everyone's using more in each household, that we're using more, kids are on, parents are on working, trying all that. One of the things that we've noticed is that it's important to manage your own household's usage. And so what are some of the ways, what are some tricks or some things we could focus on and implement or give to our community to help them make the most out of their internet connection right now?
Yeah, I would say, turning off any devices or services that you're not using anymore. So, when you're done watching a show, just go ahead and shut down Netflix. Don't just let it keep playing in the background or when you go out.
Yeah, that's good. Move on to that.
Really good idea also to keep your computers healthy. So keep your antivirus up to date. It is possible to have malware running in the background using bandwidth that you're not even aware of, and that can clog up your whole network. If you need help with getting malware installed, let us know. We do have a really good offering for that.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
I would say always queue your downloads and time them for the right time. So if you got a game download or a big software update, do that at night where you're not needing the internet, and it's less impactful for everyone across the board.
Yeah, those are some really great points, and I'm sure there's a few more in there that we could probably think of. But it's for the long haul. We're going to be in this situation, and we're going to get better at our use of and find new ways to really expand whatever avenues we're using the internet for. From the Rock Island team, we want to just remind everyone we're here. We're part of this community. We are really interested in making sure that we can provide support wherever we can. So do reach out to us if there's anything you need. We're happy to help. And we really just want people to stay safe. Stay home, stay healthy, like our directives are. We live in such a beautiful place, and we're fortunate that we are in somewhat of a isolated place. I think that's something we can't overlook either. So don't forget to stop and stare outside every once in a while and enjoy the beauty that we have around us. But please reach out if you need anything. Otherwise, we wish the best of health and safety for all of you. And we'll be in touch through the means that Allie mentioned, of ways to contact us. But thanks for your time, guys, and thank you, team, for participating in this and helping get our community up to speed on what's going on with Rock Island.
Thank you.
All right, guys, take care.
Bye.